Hello everybody, thank you for joining me again today. I am Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today we're going to be making a twist top box. Now I needed some boxes to put on my Christmas table to contain yum 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 Ferrero Rocher chocolates. Delicioso. So with that in mind, I thought I would make some twist top boxes. It's something that I've seen a few times, and you know when you, sorry, just straightening up there. You know when you look at something, you think, oh, that looks so nice. What can I use that for? Well, I found something to use it for. Yay! So let's get going, shall we? I am going to be doing mine in Night of Navy. I did toss up whether to have my table navy and silver this year or black and gold, because black and gold is a very in colour, isn't it? But I had black and gold last year, so I thought I'd go a little bit different this year and go for navy and silver instead. Although I do like black and gold. We're going navy and silver. Silver. We're going navy and silver for today. Yes, that's what we'll do. Right, I am starting off then with a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that measures 9 1/4 by 7 1/2. Grab your scoreboard, and with the short end at the top, can you see that all right? I believe you can. With the short end across the top, we're going to score at, where's my bit of paper gone? Hang on. Lost it. Right, ready? 1 3/4, 3 1/2, 5 1/4, and 7. All right. Then turn around. Doesn't matter where you've got your thinner piece, your thinner score piece at the top or the bottom. I always have mine at the bottom, always, because if I always turn it around the same way, it's less likely I'm going to get in a muddle. So mine's always at the bottom. Right, so turn it around the other way and score again at 1 3/4 and 7. All right, move your scoreboard out of the way, but bring in a mat. Now this is one of my cutting mats that I use. I found it quite good when I'm doing sort of freehand scoring because it, oh, I've got a pen on my ruler there, look. Children have been in. As you can see, I'm wearing one of my darling boy's loom bands that he made for me. Love him. What was I saying? Can't remember what I was saying now. Oh dear, that didn't take long, did it? Yes, I know what I was saying. I use my cutting mat because it's a bit spongy, so when I'm doing sort of freehand scoring like I'm going to do now, it just makes it easier because it gives something to sort of squidge down on, whereas if you just do it on your worktop, it's quite hard. You could do it on a few layers of paper, I suppose, but obviously then you're using up loads of paper when you don't really need to. Anyway, so we're going to do it on this one. Now, I'm using the wider end of the score, so not the 1 3/4 end, the other end. And I'm going to put my ruler starting off at this corner, and I'm going to score to that line. So I'm scoring in a diagonal. Put a bit of pressure on it so that you actually get a decent score line. Oops, make sure you're nicely lined up, and then score each one of those top squares straight across at the diagonal like that. All right, when you've done that one, turn it around. Around and around and around and around. We don't have to turn it around, obviously, it's entirely up to you. But turn it around because we're now going to score it again. So what we've actually done, starting at the corner, going to the corner, forget this little bit on the end, we're not interested in that at the moment. So from the corner to the corner, all 4 boxes at the top. So you're actually ending up with those top boxes, the wider boxes, you've actually put a cross in the middle of it. All right, so that's what you should be looking at now. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, now you could put it back on your scoreboard for this, it's entirely up to you. What we're going to do is we're going to score a line from the center of that cross to the top. I'm hoping you can, let me go up there, that'd be better, won't it? So from the center of that cross there, we're going to score a straight line, a straight line up to the top. All right, so this is why I said you could put it back on your scoreboard if you wanted to, because then you can find that point and you can get a nice straight line straight up. Up to you whether you want to do it that way, or if you're confident doing it just with your ruler still, that's fine. Just make sure you've got it in a nice straight line, and just from that center of that cross up to the top of your card. Do that on all of them like so, and then you'll have that pretty pattern. Right, so every box has got a cross and it's got a line from the center of the cross to the top of your card. Okay, right, move all that out of the way, don't need that anymore. Grab some scissors, and with your scissors, actually they're not going to be big enough, are they? What are these ones? Yeah, these are do. With your scissors, let me stand up so I can see what I'm doing. See this narrow bit at the top there? So I'm at the top. Oh, silly light. It's terrible, isn't it? So see this narrow part here? Cut that at quite a steep angle. All right, so you've cut quite a steep notch out of that. Move that out of the way. And then at your bottom one, you can just do a notch in. And what we're actually going to do is cut that bottom one out completely. Oops, there we go. All right, so we've got a very steep notch at that end, and then a smaller one at that end. So that's your shape you're looking at. All right, now we're going to just put some notches in these bottom ones. Not on all of them though. We're going to do it on, so I want one of them to sit square. I'm going to have this one sitting square, so that particular one I'm just going to cut it straight up and then notch next to it, but not on that actual square itself. All right, same for the other side. So I'm going to cut straight up. Oops, sorry, that's rubbing against the Ferrero Rocher box, look. Yes, there are some missing. Yes, I did eat some. I couldn't help it. They're so yummy. Right, so notch that one as well. And then, should we go that way, shall we? Just from the other side. Just notch that one down. All right, so that's what you're left with. So you have a square one, and then you have 3 notched ones. Oops, turn it up the right way, shall we? And then we've got a narrow one here with a steep notch there and a small notch at the bottom. Okay, excellent. Right, now my intention was to actually do some glitter trees on here, because I'm going to be using, whoops, leave Santa over there. I'm going to be using the Lovely as a Tree set to do this, and my idea was that I'd use the heat and stick powder, stamp with that, and then stamp the glitter on, put the glitter on rather. I thought that would look really, really nice. But when I was trying it out, I realised that clever me had actually put some white embossing powder in my heat and stick powder pot. So my tree, which was supposed to be silver, ended up white. So that idea went straight out the window because I haven't got enough time now to order some to get it here in time. I'm going to see if I can borrow some off of some of my buddies, but for today I thought, oh, give up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use silver embossing powder instead. So I've got silver embossing powder, my Versamark, my tree that I'm going to be using. Now, I want a tree on every panel. I did think of maybe just putting it on one panel, but I thought no, because I have quite a big table at Christmas and I want everybody around the table to see everything. So there's not much point me actually just putting it on one panel, is there? Because then it means that other people that are looking from the other side aren't going to really be able to see a lot, apart from a bit of a boring looking box, really. Well, that's what it would look like from their side. So with that in mind, I thought, right, I'm actually going to stamp a tree on each panel. You may decide otherwise. You may decide that you just want to do the one panel. Entirely up to you. If you see my head, I do apologise. I'm just trying to line this up properly. There we go. Now you can see this tree just fits, and I mean just. I need to get some more Versamark on that, but it does fit, just about. So if you are doing trees on all of your panels, this is why it's taken me a little while just to line it up properly, because it just fits in there. I did think of maybe doing it wider, maybe making the box wider, but I've got other bits going on the table as well, and I didn't want to end up sort of taking over the table with these boxes. Let's turn that around that way, so make it a little bit easier. So I thought I'd do it a bit narrower. There we go. That's it. Right, to move that out of the way, where's the lid gone? There it is. We need a piece of paper folded in half, pop some embossing powder on. Now, you may have noticed I didn't use my embossing buddy. I forgot. That's the only reason why I didn't use my embossing buddy. I'm not very good at remembering that. I'm always forgetting it. So I just hope this is actually going to come out all right. Sorry, let's chuck the whole lot on. Who cares? It's going to go back in the pot, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh, it's not too bad. Let me just give it a flick. Yeah, I can go with that. Not perfect, but I can go with that. I would suggest you use your embossing buddy though. It does save a lot of stressing. It's alright when you do your first one, I think, if you're just doing the one. But if you're doing more than one, you invariably get Versamark on your hand somewhere, which means that you will obviously stick it on your card somewhere, and that of course means that you'll end up with some nice embossed fingerprints. Super duper. Right, let's emboss this. It's going to be loud, so you might want to turn your volume down a bit. I just need to wait for it to warm up a bit. I'm going to drink a bit of coffee while I'm doing that. Num nums. Right, let's get this done. When you're doing your embossing, you keep it moving, keep your embossing tool moving. It will help to make sure your paper doesn't curl too much. Go from the underneath as well, because that also makes a difference. The reason it's curling is because you either keep your tool in one place for too long, or, hey, there we go. you well, you keep it, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Oh, something shiny. Got totally distracted. Oh, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Yeah, when you keep your tool in one place too long, you're actually drying out the card. And when you dry your card out, that's when it starts to curl, because all the moisture's evaporating out the card. You can also find, however, the total opposite. Put too much moisture in your card and it will curl anyway. There we go. Oh, crash. Just smashed up the room, as usual. Never mind, eh? Never mind. There we go. Right, so there are my trees, looking all nice and beautiful and pretty. Now, let's get some folding done. Now, when you're doing your folding, when you've done your trees and you're going to be folding, obviously you need to be a little bit gentle with these edges, especially if your tree has gone slightly over. All right, so just be warned that you might want to go a little bit gentle. Where's this bone folder? Is this a clean one? No, that's a dirty one. Is that a clean one? Yeah, that's a clean one. Right, this one at the top, try and get a nice tight fold on that, because it will help your box when you when we're actually putting it together. Oh, mind the embossing. You could, of course, burnish these score lines before you emboss if you want to. I just always find it easier to do the stamping of any sort before I actually do my folding. Keeps your card flatter, because can you see as you start to fold it curls and bends and things like that. So if you're trying to stamp on that, you could end up putting your stamp down in the wrong place, and then you'll make a big old mess. Right, let's fold that one over. Now these ones at the top, you're going to have to do these sort of manually. You just need to sort of manhandle them a little bit to fold them over. Now try and fold them as much as you can, because the more you fold them, the better your box is going to sit. So if you can get them nice and tight, go for it. Yeah. And we're going to go each, whoa, nearly dropped it, all the way along. And then that one in the middle, you just kind of need to just pull it in and give it a pinch. Now look, I'm pinching it underneath, all right, just to get that folded in properly. All right, now you'll have a kind of a harlequin pattern going on there. Look, can you see that? Well, I'm trying to get all the embossing powder off my desk that's spilled everywhere. And straighten up the mat as ever. Right, so let's get some sticking done, shall we? Now, Tombow, that's what I wanted. There we go. I hope this is the new one. Yeah, I'm guessing it is, because it's got glue everywhere, which means the children have had hold of it. Oh, they're terrible, my children. They sneak in here at night when they're supposed to be in bed and play with things, little whatsits. Right, let's get some glue stuck on that edge first. Now you could use double-sided tape for this, but if you are going to use double-sided tape, make sure you're using a very strong one, because these boxes will probably end up getting bashed about a bit, I would imagine. Being on a table, you know, as you're sort of rushing to put things out and make things in the right places and get it all looking gorgeous and lovely. So just be warned, if possible, use some very strong double-sided tape or glue. Now I've just squished that with my bone folder just to make a nice tight, yuck, got glue all over my hands, nice and stuck edge there. Spend a bit of time doing it. It will honestly make a big difference. It's not a case of just slap it on, stick it in, off you go. If you do that, it will fall apart. Do it properly, it doesn't fall apart. Right, now on the bottom, a square flap is going to be the last one to fold over. All right, so if you fold your bottom two in opposite, get yourself some glue and just put the dollop on there. Doesn't need to be too special because you just want to hold that one in place. Now you can use the base of that one to keep yourself nice and square. If you're worried, however, that you're not going square, if you think, oh, maybe I'm going to end up going a little bit over, there's nothing to stop you trimming the ends off of that. No one's going to know, are they? They're not going to see it. What they're going to see, if they do decide to turn it upside down, obviously, is that one. So these ones, if you wanted to trim them a little bit shorter, you could do. I must admit, I did think about using the gift bag punch board for this because it's got that really nice end on it. It sort of gives a really nice finish onto the end, but I decided not to. I decided to do it like this because I wanted this one to be square, you see. If I'd used the gift bag punch board, it would have been shaped slightly. Just being a fuss pot, really, aren't I? Nothing else, just being a fuss pot. Right, I think that's stuck. Yeah, I reckon that's stuck. Where's my ruler? Tell you what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my ruler, just stick it in that hole and just make sure that's nicely stuck down. That's it, that'll do nicely, that'll do. Oh, I've got sticky fingers now, I've got glue on my hand. Where's my wipe? Baby wipes to the rescue. Always have a packet of baby wipes next to you. When you're crafting, they are invaluable. They're great at getting glue off your fingers, clearing up your mess. And if it's hot and sunny, they're really good for wiping your stressful brow, your sweaty brow. How nice. Right, enough of that. Okay, so here's our box, looking all lovely with our cheese on it. Now I'm also going to put on my one, I'm going to put some pretty diamonds. I can open it, there it is, new packet. Oh, come on, can't get it open, there we go. I'm just going to use these little ones here at the top, just to put a couple on. So it's going to be, they're kind of like, I don't know, like stars, would you say? They look like stars. Just finishes it off, I think. Probably would have been a better idea if I'd put these on before I actually built the box up, but never mind. Why would you do it easy, eh? That's just boring, isn't it? Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at those pretty sparkles, like little stars. You could even do stars, I suppose, couldn't you, really, if you wanted to? Make some little stars to go on there. There. That's good, isn't it? Right, now the last thing that I'm going to do... Oh, where did that one come from? Is that off my box? Oh no, I've just pulled that off of there, haven't I? Wait a minute. Let me just stick that back on. Oh, come here, little diamond. Don't like wasting them. So they're so nice. What was I going to say? Oh yes, glitter. I am going to use some glitter. Shall I put it on now? Decisions. I tell you what. No, I'm not going to use some glitter. No, I won't use it. Not on this one. I might use it on another one, but not this one. Right. I've got rid of my light bulb moment there. Okay, now we need to close the box. Now, when you first close this box, it's a little bit fiddly, but it does find its own way eventually. But you just have to let it sort of be fiddled with for a while, and you'll find it's the kind of box that once you've done it and closed it the first time, it will then find its way every time. But what I would suggest is, if you make it at least a couple of days before you're going to use it, close it up and then just let it sit, because as you let it sit, the moisture in the air will get back into the card and will actually start to sort of swell slightly, and then as the temperature rises and falls in the house sort of through the night and the day, it will actually almost set the top bit so that it stays exactly where you want it. And then you'll find that once it's done that for a couple of days, you'll never have a problem closing it again. All right, but the way you want to do it, push in from the sides and the top, get it into that star shape, and then just sort of push them round like that, you see? And as you pull them round and push them, they go into that twisted shape, and then you can pull it back open if you want to. So I like mine to be kind of like that. So what I do is, once it's opened up, I then just gently, these centre folds, push them down a bit so they actually fold back the opposite way rather than inwards, and then eventually that will actually sit like that. So after a couple of days, that's going to stay exactly like that, and there is your twist top. Isn't that nice? It's really pretty, I think. And just to finish it off, twist it open, and you can pop in your Ferrero Rochers. Now that will actually take 4 in there. There you go. You can see that went a little bit easier that time already, didn't it? So that would take 4 Ferrero Rochers in that box. If you wanted to make it a bit smaller, you could do, but if you're going to use the tree, just bear in mind you want the heights so that you can actually fit your tree on. Otherwise you'll find that you might only decide you want to do 2, for example, say 2 Ferreros, but then you're not going to have enough room for the tall tree. You could, of course, use the smaller one, that one in the middle there, but when you actually use that one, if you just wanted the tree alone, whoops, hang on, let's just get it out, come out of there. If you just wanted that tree, you could just sort of put some washi tape or something over those ones, and then you can just stamp that one instead. All right, so that's how you could do a shorter one if you didn't want to give away all your Ferreros. So there we have it, a very pretty, let's turn it around so you can actually see it, because otherwise you're just looking at the top, which is, it's nice obviously, but a little bit boring. But there you have it. There is our twist top box with that pretty twist top on it. And do you know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on a minute. I've got in my little box of tricks over here on the floor. A minute. Oh, just whacked my head. Sorry about that. I've got these. I bought these a couple of years ago. And I'm going to put these in as well. Look, they're just silver balls. I can't even remember where I got them from. I don't know if I got them online or if I got them from a hobby store. Can't remember. But look, if I put those like that, I'm going to stick them in there. Whoops. Well, I thought it was a good idea. Hang on a minute. Maybe it's not such a good idea. This is called improvisation. Yay, there we go. Look. They go in. Oh, that looks much nicer. I like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look cute with those little balls in the top there? It just finishes it off, I think, doesn't it? Because of the shape of this, you can't really put a ribbon around it, but I think that looks quite good. Yeah, I like that. Smooth those out of the way. So there you have it, my lovelies, a gorgeous twist top box, perfectly sized for your Ferrero Rochers, or if you haven't got Ferrero Rochers where you live, these actually measure around about 1.5 by 1.5. So as long as your box is bigger than 1.5 by 1.5, sorry, as long as your sweets, not your box, as long as your sweets are about 1.5 by 1.5, they will fit perfectly in this box. All right. Thank you for joining me again. It's nice to see you again. I'm hoping you like my little box there. All the details will be on my blog of the score lines that you need to make so that you know where they all are. And also there'll be a list on there of all the products that I've used today. I'll see if I can find somewhere that sells these little balls as well, because like I say, I bought these a while ago now and I can't remember where I actually got them from. But if I can find them, I will put a link to my blog on there for you as well. But all the products that I've used, that will all be on my blog. So if you want to order any of them, all you need to do is just click on the picture. When you go to the bottom of the actual blog post, there'll be pictures of all the products that I've used. So if you want to order any of them, all you need to do is just click on the picture and it will take you straight through to my order site, so you can order them yourself. Or if there's only the odd one or two things that you need, just drop me a line, because I put orders in at least once a week, and sometimes it actually works out cheaper from a postage point of view if I add them to my order for you. I mean, for example, if you just wanted, say this stamp set, Lovely as a Tree stamp set, if you just ordered that set from my order site, the postage is just a flat rate postage of £4.95, which obviously if you're ordering lots and lots of products, it's a fantastic price. If you're just ordering one thing, however, not so good. So if you want to just order the one stamp set or one pack of card, or, you know, just a few small bits, just drop me a line, because I'll add them to my order, and then when they come to me, I then send them out to you, standard UK postage. All right, so to give you an idea, this stamp set, first class, from me will cost you about £1.60, £1.70. So it does actually save quite a few pennies, doesn't it? So if you do want to order anything, just let me know, or like I've said, just order straight through my website. All the details will be on there. Anything I can do for you in the meantime, just drop me a line and I will see what I can sort out. But until next time, see you soon.